Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to cover the new Thor Love and Thunder teaser trailer that has finally been released. We pick things up with Thor coming into himself, and on this journey, we see that at one point he did actually don the classic, more iconic comic book costume, which is really cool to see because, this whole phase of the MCU has really brought in the more classic outfits, and I'm all for it. Even if some of them do not actually work in live action, it's really cool to get them just acknowledged. As we move along, we see that Thor actually plants Stormbreaker, and that actually makes some kind of sense considering in Infinity War, the handle is actually made from Groot. Potentially, if he did leave it in the ground, which obviously he doesn't, maybe it could have made a tree. Would it have made a second Groot? And then we get an actual montage of Thor trying to get back to where he was before, trying to get back into shape. As we all know, he really got out of shape, and you can't blame the guy after everything he's been through. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited for this film, is because, Ragnarok really started off this journey for him and this huge emotional toll that he has not recovered from yet. I really hope to see him get a little bit of redemption in this film and actually find himself. He's even got the strongest Avenger title on that hat from that movie, which he often referred to himself as that no one else has. And if you notice, while he's talking to the Guardians, and Peter Quill is giving him this advice, most likely when they're finally departing from one another and Thor is somewhat back on his feet, Gamora is still not there. There were a few issues with scheduling and which movie would come out first before, but now that this film is coming out before Guardians of the Galaxy 3, that storyline of them finding Gamora is probably going to be saved for their movie. But while they have been hanging out together, Thor's actually wearing one of the Ravager outfits, which was most likely given to him by Peter Quill. And we get this beautiful shot of Thor in this blue and golden armor, which is most likely given to him by the gods that we will see further down this teaser. And you can see him using the Bifrost, similar to how he used it to show up at the final battle of Infinity War. Just kind of reminding us that he's got this brand new ability with this new weapon, and that he's probably going to be traveling a little bit in this film. And I just have to say, I was a little concerned about what this outfit was going to look like in live action, because we've gotten a few releases of what it looks like, and especially the huge helmet set piece, but seeing it on film, it does look really nice, and I'm very excited to see him actually fight in it and everything. All of his outfits throughout this trailer, I really enjoy. And this scene of Thor and Korg is ripped directly from the comics and looks amazing. Essentially, they're just gazing upon one of Thor's old friends who has been taken out by the main villain of this movie, played by Christian Bale, known as Gorr the God Butcher. To put it simply, Gorr lost his entire family and really blames the gods for not intervening or being there for him like he thought they would be. And so he decides to take them all out. We meet Zeus, who is played by Russell Crowe, which who knows how long he'll last in this movie. I mean, I wouldn't think that they would take out Zeus immediately, but if so, that would really put pressure, on this film and just show how dangerous Gorr actually is and why Thor needs to kind of come out of this peaceful retirement stage that he's trying to get into and how he actually needs to get back into action. And I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of more gods in this film just for them to be taken out by Gorr, which is going to be really cool and awful at the same time. Based on the toy looks and how pale he starts off being, I think over the course of the film, Gorr will actually become more and more comic accurate, similar to how Hela did from Thor Ragnarok. Throughout the entire film, her headpiece just kept growing larger and larger, and so I feel like as we move along, Gorr is really going to start looking a lot more deranged, a lot more just crazy overall. This would be coming from the weapon that he wields, which is called All Black the Necro Sword. And in the comics, it was powerful enough to even take on Celestials. So you can see why this is a pretty big issue for all of the gods, especially when this man is bloodthirsty. And hopping on over to Valkyrie, she does not seem like being king is what she thought it would be, especially since things have completely changed now that they are more of a tourist attraction on Earth. I mean, we even see tour buses and just how, this once great civilization has really been, toned down. And finishing off the trailer, we get our first official look at Jane Foster's Mighty Thor outfit. And I gotta say, it looks way better than I could have expected. And she's really buffed up for the role as well. And so I'm really excited to see Thor's reaction to the news. Just by this little tease, you can already tell he is just mind blown. And Mjolnir looks so good to me. I think it looks weirdly even better with all the cracks in it, just seeing them glow. A little backstory on how this is even possible. In the comics, while Thor was unworthy for a period of time, Jane was diagnosed with cancer and became worthy. However, her main downfall was that the more she transformed into the mighty Thor persona, because she's not always like Thor, because she's not always powerful like our MCU Thor, the worse her cancer became. So we'll see how much of that story they adapt for this film. Supposedly, her connection with the Reality Stone may be the cause of her cancer, or say even the reforging of Mjolnir. The Reality Stone may have been the cause of her cancer, since she's just a human and she wasn't supposed to have that at all. Or maybe her connection with the Reality Stone is what actually helped reforge Mjolnir. And of course, looking back at this trailer, they weren't a big part of it, but I am hyped for Korg and Meek to come back. And especially the Guardians, because already their dynamic with Thor seems like it's just going to be a great start to the movie. Especially with the amazing colors and just the cinematography and all of it put together. I am extremely excited to finally see this movie and to actually get official trailers soon. Whether this is an official send-off for our Thor or not, I think this movie is going to be fantastic. But what do you think? Did you like this teaser trailer? If so, let me know down below and tell me exactly what you're most excited for and what you want to see. And that's that. See ya.